I found that nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. Nothing. Nelson Mandela said, "There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living." Now, I'm sure in your experiences in school and applying to college and picking your major and deciding what you want to do with life, I'm sure people have told you to make sure you have something to fall back on. Make sure you got something to fall back on, honey. But I never understood that concept, having something to fall back on. If I'm going to fall, I don't want to fall back on anything. I want to fall forward. I figure at least this way I'll see what I'm going to hit. Without consistency, you'll never finish. So do what you feel passionate about. Take chances. Don't be afraid to fail. There's an old IQ test, was 9 dots, and you had to draw 5 lines with a pencil within these 9 dots without lifting the pencil. The only way to do it was to go outside the box. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Don't be afraid to fail big, to dream big. But remember, dreams without goals are just dreams.
Deep ball for Darius Prince, and Philadelphia's on the board first. How do you like that? Rodabog looking that way. Instead, he goes to Prince for the touchdown.
Hello everybody, and welcome to Conversations with Cook. I'm your host, Terrence Cook, and I have a very special guest with me.
Darius Prince, man. I'm glad to be here with my guy T. Cook today.
Always a pleasure to have you on the show. Darius, can you tell us where we're at?
We're here at West Mifflin Area High School, where both T. Cook and I went to, man. We both play football here, so it's a very good feeling to be back here today.
I can't lie, it feels kind of strange. You know,
Right.
Seeing how the renovations went with everything, and it looks beautiful. It looks beautiful, by the way. Definitely the different color sidelines. They did a magnificent job. Darius, your career started here on this field.
Right.
Can you tell us what position you played and everything else?
So I played wide receiver and DB here. Like T. Cook said, it started here on this field. I love West Mifflin. I'm an alumni here. So it's like I said, it's just a great feeling to be back here to share my story here today with T. Cook.
And your story is one that really I admire, seeing from afar, but knowing you personally, the grind, the grit to get to where you had to get to. For all you guys that don't know, Darius made his way from semi-pro all the way up to the NFL.
Let's go! We're in ball 32. We coming. We coming up there.
You know, it started on this field for you.
Right.
You know, you started wide receiver and defensive back, and you transitioned to yourself from semi-pro. I know you went to college, but you went from semi-pro all the way into the NFL. Can you tell us about your journey?
It was just when I got out of high school, basketball was kind of more where my heart was. I kind of felt like that was something I wanted to do for my living. Basketball was kind of where I was getting recruited at. I really wasn't getting recruited for football so much, so it was an easy decision for me to make. So I ended up going to Penn State McKeesport, which is right across the bridge. And after that, overseas didn't work out for me. So I was like, I knew I was talented. God blessed me with the ability to play both football and basketball.
Absolutely.
So I was like, why not? Why not go for it? You know, I got nothing to lose. I knew I was talented. I knew my journey was going to be hard. But I'm like, forget it. I'm just going to go for it. You know what I mean? So I just picked up playing semi-pro with the Pittsburgh Stealth, and from there I went with the PA Jaguars.
Okay.
And after that season, I got an opportunity with the Lehigh Valley Steelhawks.
Okay.
And that was arena, and we went from there.
Okay, so you moving to a place like Lehigh Valley, what did that take for you mentally? coming out, because obviously it's not West Mifflin, it's not, probably, and it's not McKeesport where the sense of home is right down the street.
Right.
How was that for you?
It was tough at first because it was like my first time being away from home.
Okay.
And obviously, I had my daughter, so
Absolutely.
So that was tough. Allentown's a little bit different, obviously from being here in West Mifflin and being so close to Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Allentown's like its own little city, so it took a little bit of adjusting to get to, but when you're out there to take care of business and you're out there doing something you love to do, you kind of get familiar with the areas and it kind of become home for you after a short period of time.
So you sitting, I'm just taking it per se, you sitting in your room, knowing your drive, your dream, what kept you going? Because, some people don't make it from the semi-pro division.
Right.
We hear a lot of more negatives than positives.
Right.
What was going through your head at that time?
I think it was more so every time I played against someone, whether it was flag football or semi-pro, I kind of just got tired of hearing, like, what are you doing here? Like, why? Like, you shouldn't be here. Like, obviously, you're the best player out here, and it just kind of made me want more. And then, obviously, like I said, having my daughter, it made me want to do more. It made me want to be able to provide for my daughter more. So, just being from West Mifflin and with your story, what you're doing for a living now, not too many people make it out. You
Absolutely
know what I mean?
not.
Like, so I just felt like I was blessed with the ability to do so. I'm going to just go for it. And when I do it, I'm going to do it at 110%. And the worst that can happen is no. You know what I mean? So when I went forward with it, I'm just going to keep grinding. So I'll never forget it. We lost in semi-pro playoffs. That next day, I hit up my boy Milton Rose.
Okay.
And I told him, I said, man, I'm ready to work. And we had just lost last night. It ain't even 24 hours later.
Okay.
And he said, meet me at Woodland Hills High School. Met him at Woodland Hills High School, and I've been working from that day to present day, bro, and I haven't stopped. And it was just something on my mind where I was like, I'm going to get it. Like, I'm just going to keep going, no matter how many roadblocks I hit, no matter how many no's I get, no matter how many trials I go to and I get turned down, I'm going to just keep going until I can't no more.
See, that mindset is crucial because I can attest to that, leaving West Mifflin and going to San Francisco where it's expensive as hell to live there.
Right.
So, I relate to the mindset. So, can you tell us more about when you got called up to after Allentown to the Philadelphia Soul?
So, I had a really good season. I had played 2 seasons out there in Allentown. My first season was really good. My second season was even better, and that's all. It's about progression, getting better than the previous season. So
Absolutely.
I went out there, I did my thing, and we had a playoff game against the Columbus Lions, and we lost, but I had 4 touchdowns, like 100-something yards receiving. Mm-hmm. And the Allentown and Philadelphia is like an hour and 20 minutes apart from each other. So it's like a farm league for the AFL. Okay. So they always had their eye on us, like, you know what I mean, guys at that level to see if they could call them up if they feel like they can play in the AFL. So after we lost, we had our banquet the next day. My coach pulls me aside and he's like, Prince, I just got off the phone with the Soul. They want to bring you in for a workout.
How did you feel in that
So
moment?
I'm like, man, because I remember going to one of their games when I was at Lehigh. And I was like, man, I would love to be in this type of atmosphere, playing inside the Wells Fargo. You look up in the Rafters, Allen Iverson's jersey, and I'm a big AI fan. You know what I mean? I'm a big AI fan, so I'm like, oh man, I got to seize this opportunity.
Yeah,
I got to make it work.
Absolutely.
So they called me up. I went in for a workout. So when you go in for a workout, you go there for practice for a week. So you're there the whole week of practice. At the end of practice, Coach Dozell was like, man, Prince, you did a really good job. We got a bye week next week, so we can't sign you until after the bye week. So we're going to bring you in after the bye week. Now, mind you, I heard this before from other
people. I was about to ask, like...
I'm like, thanks, Coach, I appreciate it. Like, hope to hear from you soon. And then next you know, I came back home. And sure enough, man, a week later, he called me up. It was the assistant coach, Coach Bogle. Coach Bogle called me, he's like, Prince, you ready to go? At this point, my heart's like, I'm like, oh, this is really happening now.
For you, right? It's about to happen.
I'm like, this is really about to happen right now. So I'm like, yeah, I'm ready, Coach. He's like, all right, boom, here's the address. We'll see you in the morning. So get on the road. I go out there, and I meet with Coach Dozell, and I'm like, hey, congratulations on the win this past weekend, because they had played a game, and then they had a bye week, and then that's when they brought me in. And he's like, man, we're proud to have you a part of the team now. And I was like, thank you, Coach. I appreciate it. I'm gonna give you my all.
Absolutely. So, tell me, what it was like being in that locker room, you know, and feeling like knowing you deserve to be there. What was it like?
It's still a surreal feeling, man. Ever since signing there in 2017, seeing the guys that are faces of the Arena Football League, I'm now sharing a locker room with.
Okay.
So, you know, I'm looking at these guys, Darius Reynolds, Dan Rodabar, then I'm looking at James Romaine, Dwayne Hollis, Torres Jones, the DBs, like, you know what I mean? Then SK, then Ryan McDaniels. Like, you know, I'm looking at these guys and I'm like, man, like I remember watching these guys on ESPN.
Absolutely.
In the Arena Bowl, you know what I mean? Last year. Like,
Literally.
now I'm in the same locker room with them. So it was a surreal feeling, and the guys are just like, they were just so down to earth and so cool and so willing to help. Because, you know, you could go anywhere and you meet somebody that's like a vet and they really don't want to help out the new guys, you know what I mean? But at that level, man, like, everybody was so helpful. Hey Prince, you want to come over and watch extra film? Like, you know, so it made me feel like more comfortable that I could be myself and I could open up, you know what I mean? So it helped me a lot.
So what was the first practice like with Philadelphia? So,
man, the first practice, man, I'm out there and I'll never forget.
Any jitters?
Jitters out the ASS, man. So look, I'll never forget. So we're in our wide receiver lines, and I dropped the first ball, and I'm like, come on, man, like, and it's the jitters, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm nervous, my body, I'm like this, and I'm like, just calm down, you know. So I'm talking to myself as the rest of the receivers are coming through the line. You know how we used to do the football drill, the wide receiver drills line. Like, you know, we go down the line and go back.
Go back.
Coach Joe, you know what Coach Joe used to do? So we did that with our quarterbacks.
Okay.
So, you know, we're going down in the line, and I'm just talking to myself, come on, you got this, man. This ain't nothing. It's new for you, but this is what you do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it was crazy the first day, but once I got past that first day, man, I started picking up everything, man, and the rest was history.
Was there any, like, the terminology a little different from moving from?
Yeah, the terminology was definitely different from being at Lehigh to being with the Soul. It was a little bit different, but I mean, it was also easy. I feel like my IQ is very high, so it's easy for me to pick up on things. But Coach Thompson also, he was my head coach down at Lehigh Valley. I mean, he did a great job preparing me. You know what I mean? Like, so everything was good.
So, you're balling out. You're in the Arena Bowl. You're doing your thing. You're getting your shot, and you're seizing the moment.
Prince has a catch. Breaks a tackle. The rookie, first career AFL game. End zone, touchdown, Philadelphia.
Tell us what it was like to get the call from the Philadelphia Eagles.
It was like I said, man. It was my whole journey is still a surreal feeling to me because it's just like I just can't believe it.
Yeah.
And my story isn't done yet. I'm still working to get back into a training camp with a team to show what I could do. But I'll never forget it. I actually came home. We lost in a playoff game to the Baltimore Brigade in the Arena Football League. My agent calls me the next day, and he's like, the Steelers want to work you out. So now I'm thinking, like, oh, my home team, like, you know what I mean? Like, let's do it. So he's like, yeah, I need you here Tuesday. You need to be back home by Tuesday morning. Because you got a physical, you got to meet with them at 7 a.m. to go get your physical and everything like that. I'm like, all right, cool. So I did that. I did the workout, met with Coach Tomlin. He was very cool. You know what I mean? Like, he was really down to earth. He was a good guy.
Definitely a good guy, man.
And, you know, they said they'll put me on the short list. So now I'm like, all right, that's cool. Boom. A couple days later, my agent calls me like, Philadelphia want to bring you in for a workout. So now I drive out to Philly.
That's a culture shock. From Pittsburgh to Philly, that's a huge difference.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
After going to school with guys in Philadelphia, people in Philadelphia, that's a different culture over here, man. I'll be honest.
Different all the way, man. It took some time me getting used to while being out there.
Oh, man.
So I drive out there, and actually me and Christian Hackenberg,
the quarterback, Penn State quarterback,
works out together. So they end up signing Christian Hackenberg at the end of the workout. They signed Christian Hackenberg. They told me I did a great job and they'll get back to my agent. So my agent texts me like maybe an hour after the workout. it was like, Prince, man, I got some really good news. They said they liked you, but right now they're kind of, you know what I mean? They're kind of okay at the wide receiver position. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like, next thing you know, they had a preseason game. A receiver goes down. I'm in my basement working out. Like, I'm in my basement. I'm on a bench press. I got my phone laying on my chest. My phone rings. I'm listening to music. My phone rings. It's my agent. I pick up the phone, and his words was, "Welcome to the NFL, my friend." And like,
how did that feel?
Man, I just started crying, bro. Like,
I understand.
It was like, yeah, I don't know what's about to happen from this phone call. You know what I mean? Like, but to hear that, being that I coming from West Mifflin and going to go play Division III basketball at a small D3 school and playing semi-pro and being told I'll never be able to make it to the NFL, and to finally get that call and to hear them words, bro. Like, I just started crying. Like, you know, it was so surreal. I just couldn't believe it, and I'm shaking. Like, I'm on the phone. Like, I stood up. I'm sitting on the bench. I'm like, "Are you serious?" Like, and he's like, "Yeah, man, I'm serious." The lady, her name was Kathy. I'll never forget it. Miss Kathy called me. She got all my information. Yeah. She was like, "We're gonna fly you out tomorrow morning." You know what I mean? Like, so at that point, you know, they fly me out, and then I get picked up from the airport, and I'm at the facility.
So when you get to the facility, obviously jitters running through you. Obviously, what was it like when you first stepped foot right into the Philadelphia locker room?
Man, it was so crazy because they had just won the Super Bowl.
Yes, that is right.
This is the year after they won the Super Bowl. So, you know what I mean? I walk in and it's like people just already knew my name. Like, you know what I mean? And I guess at that level, you know, you get paid for that. Like, they pay the people for that. Like, so I walk in there, they're like, "All right, we're gonna take you to grab something to eat. You know, you had a flight, you know, we're about to feed you." So I walk in there, and the chef knew my name. Like, you know what I mean? So, you know, I don't know if they walked up like, "Okay, we're bringing this kid in, his name Darius Prince," you know. So like, I walk up to the chef, his name was Tim. I'll never forget this either. I walk up, he said, "How you doing, Mr. Prince?" I'm like, I'm looking around like,
"How you know me?"
How you know me? Like,
man.
He's like, "My name's Tim, you know, whatever you need, I can get it for you." So I'm laughing, like, I'm like, He's like, "No, like, whatever your favorite meal is back home, let me know. I'll have it here tomorrow." So I'm like, this is crazy.
This is
like,
Christmas.
And there's so many other different stations and everything, man. And then, you know, I eat my food, and actually, my first time I sat down and I ate, Mike Wallace seen me sitting by myself, and Mike Wallace comes over to me. And at this time, I had 2 braids in my head, and he was like, "Hey man, anyone ever tell you to like Nipsey Hussle?" So I start laughing.
Oh, man.
I start laughing like, "Oh yeah, I heard that before, blah blah." So he's like, "What's up, man? What's your name?" I'm like, "My name's Darius Prince." He's like, "I'm Mike Wallace." I'm like, and I'm trying not to be starstruck at this point. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm watching catch some touchdowns.
Right, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm trying not to be starstruck. So I'm like, I'm in my head, I'm like, I know who you are. Like, you know what I mean? But I'm like, "What's up, man? Nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah." Like, so he actually loves Pittsburgh. Like, loves Pittsburgh. He was like, if there was any team he could finish his career with, it would have been the Steelers. You know, obviously the money situation, stuff like that.
I understand. I'd have left for that month.
But just walking through there, you know what I mean? Seeing like the plaques and the trophies and the articles on the wall and pictures of Donovan McNabb and all this stuff, man. It was like a dream come true, man.
Absolutely.
Like, and at that point, it was like everything I worked hard for, all the no's I've been told, you know what I mean? Driving 17 hours for a tryout out South Dakota with the Sioux Falls Storm, not working out, driving 17 hours back here, like, you know what I mean? Just everything I've been through, like, I'm just walking through the hallways, just looking at this stuff, just turning my head each and every way, man, just soaking it all up, man.
So what did you learn from that moment? What did you learn right then and there?
Man, I just learned that if you just keep working hard, and no matter how many times you told no matter what you go through in life, if you believe in yourself, and obviously you have to have the ability, like, you know what I mean, you have to have the talents to do it. But if you believe in yourself, your hard work, you're dedicated, you're determined to get to a certain point, no matter what life takes you through. Because we all been knocked down before. It's all about how you get back up and how you move forward. And I was like, if I just keep doing it, man, I knew I would be good.
So, knowing what you know now, been through what you've been through, what are some gems you can give for some guys that may be in your shoes that's in a semi-pro, that still have that dream, or even guys that, you know, practice here, that, you know, we had 3 people in the NFL within our class of years, about 3 guys, and you know, what advice could you give to guys like that?
Like, so the number one thing I would say is like just always work hard. You know what I mean? No matter, because you know how I was. I was small. I was skinny back in high school. I really didn't like to work out.
Yeah.
I hated it. But that's one thing I noticed, that when you move up the ranks, the skill set is, obviously your skill set got to be there, but you'll find a guy that's 235 and you could be 180, but he's faster than you. You know what I mean? Like, and that comes from working out, obviously, you know what I mean, putting the time in on the field, in the weight room, making sure he's doing the right drills and everything like that. So it's that. You know what I mean? Getting up, making sure you're taking care of yourself, eating properly, cause that's a big part also. Just staying committed to whatever it is you want to do. If you feel like you can play at the highest level, which is the NFL, do it. Go for it. You know what I mean? No matter, I've been told no plenty of times. I've been told you'll never be able to do it. I've been told, well, you play basketball, now you want to play football? And I'm like, yes, I can do it. You know what I mean? Like, and then obviously I dealt with. That's always been something I've been weighing me back, is the fact that I didn't play college football. I played college basketball. So like when I tell people my story, they're mind blown because they're like, hold up, you mean to tell me you didn't play college football?
You finessed it. Right.
Like, you mean to tell me you didn't play college football? And I'm like, no, I played small Division III college basketball. I played semi-pro for free for 2 years to get some film, and I moved my way up. You know what I mean? So, like you said, the gyms would be like, if you believe in yourself, go for it. Don't let no one tear down your dream. Like, cause I had people tear down my dream left and right. Some of my friends, some of my family members. You know what I mean? People I thought that believed in me. And I believed in myself. You know what I mean? And that's all it takes. If you believe in yourself, you can achieve anything you want to do.
Right. Well, hey, Darius, thank you for joining my show and sharing your story with everyone. And I wish you the best. You got a fan of me always. Continue to do a great job. Be a positive role model for everyone coming up. And I appreciate what you do. And thanks again.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me out here.
Absolutely. All right, guys. We'll see you guys next week.
94 yards and 3 touchdowns for Ronald so far. You can't get better. Prince has a catch. Breaks a tackle. The rookie. First career AFL game. End zone touchdown Philadelphia.